Hey, Mike, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, Zeb. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. And yourself?
I'm blessed by the best.
I dig it. I dig it. Want to start off? Can I get your name? Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Mike Paul Puzey. That's Puzey. Uh, I'm 62 years old, and I'm a black male. And I'm currently unlawfully been arrested and in prison in federal prison for the last, for the last 24 years.
And Mike, where are you from?
I'm from Washington, D.C.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your how you grew up. Tell me about your family a little bit. I believe you said the
Well, let's just say like this. I grew up like a lot of people, like a lot of black families, young black men grew up, you know, in the hood and in the streets. My father wasn't around, and my mother had other siblings, other kids. So, I grew up rough, poor, and you know, yeah, a lot of like experience. It was rough. It was rough. It was definitely rough.
Okay. And I believe you said you're 52 years old now.
Yeah, I'm 52 years old.
Okay. And it's my understanding you have a daughter out from outside. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have one child.
Okay. Okay. Do you get to talk to her often?
Oh, no, not really.
Okay. Do you have any kind of relationship with her, or has the time of wait put a lot of a strain on that?
No, because of the fact that she's upset because I've been in prison for the last 24 years. The Lord.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, Mike.
Me too.
Yeah, it's not fair to separate a man from his family, a woman from her family, or a child and whatnot. You know. If you don't mind, could you go into detail with me about why you are where you're at, especially the unjustifiable reasons why you're
Well,
there? Take your time.
I looked up a federal indictment in beginning of December of 2000. December 5th, a federal indictment came out, and
So what year is that?
well, let me just rewind back a little bit.
Okay.
I was at you know, I used to visit a friend in West Virginia, outside of Martinsburg, and state police, West Virginia State Police, came to this person's house with a search warrant, and it was just me and him there. And at that point in time, uh, at gunpoint, uh, the state trooper Brian Bean, um, at gunpoint told me, to basically, I'm under arrest, or basically at gunpoint he took me out in the back of the trailer, patted me down, and once he patted me down, he found my ID, and once he did that, he took me to the cruiser, took me to the barracks, fingerprinted me, and photographed me. He did not find any drugs, money, gun, anything of illegal contraband on me whatsoever, and that was it. 5 months later, to the federal indictment, that came out of the Northern District of West Virginia. It was 26 people on the indictment. And at that point in time, the formalities of going through the federal system began. You know what I'm saying? I was apprehended sometime. I was apprehended January 1st of 2001, and I've been incarcerated since then.
I want to ask a quick question. When you were arrested and apprehended by Brian Bean, Officer Brian Bean, did he say what he was taking you in for?
No, he did not.
So he just asked you questions and he didn't say what he did?
He didn't even ask me questions. He put the handcuffs on me, escorted me to the squad car, took me down to the Charlestown State Police Barracks, fingerprinted me and photographed me. This was July 27th of 2000.
And the friend you were with, did he have any idea? Did he or she have any idea of why Officer Bean was arresting you? I chance
he was oblivious.
Okay. Did he get arrested as well?
No, he did not.
Okay.
I was let go. They didn't charge me with nothing.
So there was no bail or anything?
Nah, they just fingerprinted me, photographed me, and released me. They didn't charge me with nothing.
And then roughly 5 months later, I believe, that's when you get picked up. And who picked you up again?
D.C. police.
D.C. police.
Washington, D.C. police.
Okay. And did they say exactly why, when you were arrested, they were picking you up?
No, they just said I had a federal warrant out of the Martinsburg, West Virginia, the Northern District of West Virginia.
Okay. Now, how long was it before you actually went to court?
As soon as I got arrested in D.C., within that same week, for extradite to be extradited to West Virginia, okay, which I was extradited to West Virginia, and then federal formalities started then. I was denied bail.
And what were their reasons for denying bail?
They tried to say that I was indicted for a machine gun, along with drug conspiracy and 924C charges, which is a firearm charge.
And did they provide any proof of any firearm, any pictures?
Or they had no gun whatsoever. They said the guns that I was charged with, I'm indicted for, were stolen. They didn't have a stolen police report. They didn't have a picture or serial number of the gun. They didn't have even nothing. They had nothing.
So, if you don't mind me asking, how could they try to charge you for that if there's no evidence of it at all?
Because the federal government is using this authority, and they say they do what they want to. They do what they want to do, and the American citizens do what they can to do to fight it off. Because the first thing they attack is your money, is your assets.
Yeah.
And whatever friends that you have that's influential or that tries to assist you, there's a possibility that they can scare them off.
Yeah.
But it's all a tactic to pick on the poor.
I agree. I totally agree. What were some of the other charges you were facing?
That was it. Extortion, saying to you, which they dismissed because it's not true. There's no such thing. And that was about it. A lot of the charges were duplicitous and multiplicitous.
Do you think there's a reason why they targeted you and these other folks?
Yeah, because I was a black male in West Virginia, and they believed that I was selling drugs.
And they couldn't provide any proof of this at all. Is that correct?
Other than people that they got together or got people that smoke drugs that would say anything and have said anything, there's no proof. It's just all talk.
Yeah. And did you know the other folks?
At no point in time, did any police officer stop me and seize drugs from me. At no point in time was there any federal investigation. There was no federal investigation. There was no federal agents. There was no federal investigative agency. There was no federal complaint file, which is a police report, a federal police report. There was no federal agent that went before a federal grand jury seeking a federal indictment. And I went to trial. There was no federal agent to accuse me of a crime against the United States of America at trial.
So I'd have to, it makes me wonder why you in federal prison when a state person apparently arrested you, but then there's no federal agency involved with this. It doesn't really make any sense to me.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this doesn't make any sense. And it seems like a case of, many cases within the DOJ where there's a lack of transparency or a point in which either judges or prosecutors can withhold information. Would you say that there was any information that was withheld from you, be it the prosecutors or the courts?
Yeah. What I want to say, there's a difference between state prison and federal prison. In state prison, it's just like the 10th Amendment. There's a separation of powers, meaning that you have the state sovereign and you have the federal sovereign. So the state usually do state investigation. They charge you. Then you go through this. They charge you in the state, and you go through the state process. Feds, they usually do a federal investigation. They charge you federally. You go through the federal process. Here in this situation right here, you have a corrupt state police, and you have a corrupt United States prosecutor. The state police name is Scott Dillon out of the West Virginia State Police. And the prosecutor here is Thomas Oliver Buckalow, a.k.a. the White Rat. And basically, these two got together and along with federal judges, Craig W. Broadwater and United States Magistrate James Ernest Seibert, to conspire to arrest 26 people unlawfully and imprisonment with no federal investigation, with no federal agent, with no federal investigative agency from the Justice Department, with no federal criminal complaint being filed via the prosecutor court, with no federal agent going before a federal grand jury seeking an indictment, and with no federal agent at trial to accuse me of a crime against the United States of America. The federal branch of the judicial branch of the federal government is solidly corrupt. It's solidly evil. It does not represent the interests of the United States public United States citizens. It has used its authority viciously and nutritiously. You know what I'm saying to you? It has no regard for rights, laws, constitution, nothing. Here it is. What happened to me, you probably would never see it or never heard of it before, where they can do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? Because, go ahead.
Is it fair to say that the general public is quite possibly misled about the truth about the Department of Justice when it comes to corruption, withholding information, and railroading people?
I would believe that the Department of Justice is a danger to the average United States citizen, because it has too much power and it abuses its power. Even when it's doing wrong, it will continue to push that evil upon the United States of American citizens. I believe all United States American citizens are in danger from the Justice Department. Corruption and corrupt officers, corrupt public, the system, period, including the judges and the prosecutors. Because there is no such thing as justice. It's a facade. It's to make money. You know what I'm saying to you? Basically, it's just a facade. It's to make money. It's about doing business. That's all it's about.
Would you say that they treated you, because I agree exactly with what you're saying. Would you say that they treated you like a number?
I wouldn't even say that, because for me to be treated like a number would entail that they would legitimately have me and have the jurisdiction and the authority over me. And they didn't. They violated me. What happened to me is high tech. The high tech lynching.
And you said this is the case of the other folks on this case as well.
Everybody on my indictment is innocent. Every single person on the indictment is innocent. And they don't even know it yet.
Have you been able to get in contact with any of these people?
No, I haven't, because of the simple fact that I'm still in federal prison.
Yeah.
And where no charging documents has been alleged. In other words, the terrorists have more rights than me on Guantanamo Bay. And they've been released by, some of them have been released by Obama. Terrorists have more rights than me. I'm a political prisoner because of the corruption that the DOJ, along with the administrative office of the United States courts, have engaged in to place me here. The whole federal system is corrupt.
I agree.
What Trump is going through, I'm living proof. If the world needs to know about this case, you're doing a podcast on this case right here, and I'm telling you, this is the only case you probably need to do. Because, you know what I'm saying, the world needs to know of the abuse, the egregious, flagrant abuse of United States citizens' civil rights, constitutional rights, human rights. It has no regard for these rights whatsoever. And you cannot get a prosecutor, you cannot get a spokesman from the United States Justice Department to convince the masses that they have any rights when it comes to the DOJ. It solidly represents evil. There's no integrity. There's no righteous integrity in the Department of Justice and its prosecutors, in the judicial federal system process whatsoever. This case is very extremely serious. If anybody's listening to this podcast right now and they think that this is a hoax, this is a joke, you can easily look me up. You can easily follow me. Ike Jones 94 on TikTok. 1, the documents are there. 2, you can go to the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, where I'm currently finishing up freedom of information on the Department of Justice, the United States Attorney General Merrick Garland, the FBI, the DEA, the ATF, and the Executive Office for United States Attorneys, which I've been in court for the freedom of information almost 4 years now, and they have failed to produce one piece of paper charging documents to have me in prison right now. In other words, I've been arrested unlawfully and imprisoned under a pre-Patriot Act. Because what I'm saying to you, what I'm saying to the world right now is that 9/11 didn't even happen yet. I went to trial. I went to trial before 9/11. The Patriot Act came out after 9/11. And I'm telling you that they arrested me under a pre-Patriot Act, where I have no rights to nothing. whatsoever.
I want to backtrack real quick. You mentioned a prosecutor. What was that prosecutor's name? You called him the White Rat.
That prosecutor's name is Thomas Oliver Muckalow. And he's been cited before for prosecuted misconduct in a case called United States versus Shuck in 1989 in the same district court, where he engaged with several attorneys who testified against him. And he tried to dig up dirt. He was so rude that he tried to dig up dirt on the judge and the magistrate judge of that court. And he's labeled the White Rat because he's tied to white supremacy, along with the rest of the public officials on that level, both the judicial federal officials, Craig W. Broadwater, as well as James Ernest Seibert, as well as Chief Judge Gina N. Groff. The Fourth Circuit co-signs these type of judges. What I'm sitting here telling you is that these people are dangerous. And when I say they're dangerous, I'm saying that they don't believe in the law. They believe in conspiring to commit federal crimes to have people in prison by any means necessary. In other words, we're not even in America no more. We're in Beirut.
Yeah. Mike, how can people help you out?
Well, the first thing I would say, I'm in prison because of the simple fact, I'm still in prison because of the simple fact that I don't have the finances to fight. I don't have the media sources to notify the media of what has happened to me, because I don't have a voice, because I'm in the belly of the beast, which is their system, which they had kept me in for 24 years, hoping that I fall and placed me in situations to try to kill me. They have placed me in these situations numerous times where my congresswoman had to get involved.
And what was the name of this congresswoman, if you don't mind me asking?
I really can't. I would have to decline to tell you that right now. What I'm saying to you, I'd have to decline to tell you that right now. Understood? Because of the simple fact that I'm still in prison.
No, I totally respect that. Totally respect that.
Anybody that's in my corner, I'd have to decline to put out there because I'm still in prison.
No, I totally understand. And what I want is, hopefully through this episode, this little series, that I can get more people, or we can get more people in your corner.
Yeah, if anybody wants to contact me, they can contact me at TikTok, or they can contact me through you.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
You know what I'm saying? For any type of financial support, or any type of legal support, or any type of media interview further.
Yeah, and I give you down for that. And for any listeners right now, my email address is dhall2784@gmail.com. If you have any interest at all, or you can assist, or even just want to give support, feel free to email me. And especially if you have some kind of way in which we can help the gentleman out. Mike, something else I want to ask. This might be a little personal. What do you want the most out of all of this?
I want my freedom and my life fully restored, because this is my first felony conviction, and I was given life plus 144 years, first time felon nonviolence.
You said, get that again. That's life plus 144 years?
I was given life plus 144 years, rank concurrent, plus a 5 consecutive year sentence. and a $600 fine. First-time felon, non-violent.
It seems like, to me, it seems a little fishy.
For crack. Because I chose to go to trial.
Because you chose out.
Because I chose to go to trial and utilize my rights.
And I'm pretty sure, in many cases they try to offer a plea at first.
There was no plea offered to me. The judge said, Mr. Puzey, you would think that you would have took a plea. I said the prosecution didn't offer me no plea. And Mr. Mucklow, did you offer the defendant a plea? He lied and said yes. He lied and said yes. He lied and said yes. And once he did that, he lied and said yes. And once he did that, what happened was there was a recess. They did some type of code in the court. There was a recess. They went downstairs in the bullpen. The prosecutor came in. My lawyer came in, which sold me completely out. He knew all this was going on, didn't tell me. You know what I'm saying? He was sold me completely out. He said, Mr. Puzey, here's the deal. You take 25 years, or you can let the jury decide your fate. And just to see how evil the prosecution was, I said, before I do 25 years, I'll kill myself. He said, Mr. Puzey, you're going to have to kill yourself. And he walked out. My mom was standing right there. What I'm sitting there telling you is this. All this information that I found out, that I told you at the beginning of this interview, this is all this information is supposed to be turned over to my lawyer. My lawyer is supposed to turn this over to me. He knew what was going on and allowed this to happen. See, when I'm sitting there saying, if people would go to my TikTok and they look on there, you would see the docket sheet. In the docket sheet where at least 10 or 13 days before trial, my lawyer put a pre-trial evidentiary hearing motion in to find out the existence of a conspiracy. I say again, a pre-trial evidentiary hearing motion to find out the existence of a conspiracy. With that said, because when he did that now, at an evidentiary hearing motion, you would find out if it's a federal investigation, who the agent is. You find out the federal criminal complaint. You find out all these things and much more. The agency that's investigating you and everything. Okay. The judge denied that pre-trial evidentiary hearing motion a week and a half after I got found guilty at trial. Basically, what I'm saying to you is that the judge knew there was no federal investigation, no agent went before a federal grand jury seeking that indictment, no agent at trial accusing me of a crime. He pushed me in here. He had full knowledge of what he was doing, and he chose to commit that crime and push me in here, thus completing the conspiracy to imprison me for nothing, innocently and unlawfully.
If you don't mind me asking again, what was the name of this judge?
Craig W. Broadwater. He died shortly thereafter. And before he died, he came to see me in the United States Penitentiary, Lewisburg. And he was watching me eat my lunch from a distance. The reason why I know he was watching me is because of the simple fact that at the time, A.W. Hobart stopped me and told me this. Also, there's a program there called Code. It's dealing with behaviors. And I was in this program. And my instructor went to the U.S. military. He went out on leave, and he came back, and he said, Mr. Puzey, I want to talk to you in my office. And I went to his office after lunch, and when I went to his office, he got on the computer, and he punched a couple of keys, and a picture popped up. And I said, hey, that's my trial judge and sentencing judge. He said, yeah, this is my boss in the military. He's a 2-star general, and I just wanted to show you this. So I asked him, like I asked the AW, I said, what you guys talk about? And they wouldn't tell me. They declined to tell me what they was talking about. But what it was is that the judge was building that I was there. I believe in God, and I believe in the Most High God. And what God has done, He slapped that judge clean down for the evilness that He's done to me. Furthermore, my mother was praying in the courthouse. My mother was praying in the courthouse. And they called the police on my mother for praying in the courthouse. At 55 years old, my mother was tackled on the ground like she was a terrorist, beaten up by them, charged, state, and placed in the same Eastern Regional County Jail as me for disorderly conduct, for praying, violating her First Amendment. This is a fact. This is a fact. She would tell you this. She's traumatized to this day. She's never been the same. She's never recuperated, and she has all types of health problems because of that. So what I'm sitting there telling you is that there is no justice, there is no mercy, there is no righteous bone in anybody in the United States District Court for the Northern District of West Virginia, or nor the United States Attorney's Office, nor the Justice Department. You see, with this, I have written with attorneys currently, recently, for the Northern District of West Virginia and the United States Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco. And I asked them to investigate my case for civil rights violations. According to President Joe Biden's Executive Order 14074, implications of civil rights against blacks. I've also taken that same letter and sent to Kamala Harris, who's running for president right now, to actually look into it. These people did nothing. As a matter of fact, the United States Deputy Attorney General did the opposite. She took that and referred my case to the criminal division of the Justice Department, where she could have easily sent it to what? The civil division for investigation, or the FBI for investigation. But she purposely misled me, she deceived me, and they sent me a letter trying to twist my words around and saying that I should probably contact the FBI myself, saying to you, and didn't even sign the letter. There's no signature on that letter. And they said that in the beginning of the letter, you can view this letter on TikTok, on my TikTok page, IJones94. If it's not there, I'll put it on there right now. Yeah. This is the fact. This shows you how corrupt. It shows you, because it's an embarrassment for the Justice Department. And I'm pleading to people, everybody out there in the world, to please have this case, put it on any social media, look me up, contact me, put it out there to people so that it can go viral, so they know to know and expose this great evil that has been done to me. Because if they did it to me, every United States citizen is in danger for this to happen to them as well.
Yeah, I agree.
This is a fact. So I'm asking for you, who's ever listening to this, so please, in Jesus' name, stand up.
Thank you.
Allow this to go down. I'm asking for you. Put me in your privileges. Ike Jones, 94, TikTok. Or you can contact this person right here that's interviewing me right now.
And that's y'all can give me an email at thehall277@gmail.com.
This is an exclusive interview. You've never heard anything like this. out of all the exonerations that you've heard in America, you've never heard this before. This is not a bluff. This is extremely real. And lawyers are afraid to get involved in this case because of the simple fact they are cowards. They are supremely afraid of the Justice Department. I'm asking you, if you know a law firm, if you know a lawyer, if you know a justified lawyer in law firms that's not afraid to fight the Justice Department, if you know any type of person that has the funds to assist me to get lawyers to fight this, if you can share my story with 10 or 15 other people on Facebook, on TikTok, on YouTube, or anywhere, on any platform, if you'd like to interview me yourself, please feel free. I need all the help that I can get.
And I'll second that, everybody who's listening. Many of you might know I'm not really experienced with this. So if you know someone who could help Mike out, it'd be much appreciated. A better interviewer, a bigger platform, anything that can help him get his story out there.
Media sources,
anything.
Politicians, legislators, celebrities.
I think a lot of us in America have the idea or the belief that the Department of Justice actually presents justice. But based off of what we heard today and my experiences from what many of you know, or many of you might not know, the Department of Justice is probably one of the worst agencies within the three-letter agencies. They hide information. They throw the world at people knowing that they have unlimited citizen tax dollars to punish people for crimes that they wouldn't dare, punish people for rules that they wouldn't dare follow themselves. Mike, I appreciate you and thank you for giving me this interview.
Before you go, Zeb, I want to give the listeners the case number to look up if they have PACER. The case number is just in case they run into media, these people, law firms, lawyers, whatever, you know what I'm saying, Johnny Cochran type. Okay, the case is 1:CV-CV-02096-CRC. It's in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia before Judge Christopher Cooper.